Have you ever imagined waking up in a world where species are disappearing at an alarming rate, where entire forests turn into deserts, oceans become plastic graveyards, and the air we breathe becomes an invisible enemy? Well, this isn't the plot of an apocalyptic movie. It's happening right now, and it could be the beginning of the end. Earth has already endured 5 mass extinctions, catastrophic events that reset life on the planet. Some were caused by colossal asteroids, others by hellish volcanic eruptions. But now, scientists warn that we are heading toward the 6th mass extinction. Except this time, the villain isn't a natural disaster. It's us. Since the 1970s, vertebrate populations have plummeted by 68%. Thousands of species are disappearing 100 times faster than expected. And believe it or not, this isn't just about exotic animals in distant forests. This collapse directly affects humanity. The food on your table, the quality of the air you breathe, and even the stability of the climate that keeps everything running. But have we already reached the point of no return? Is there still time to prevent this collapse? What can we learn from past extinctions to stop this from being the last one? Get ready, because what you're about to discover in this video might completely change the way you see the future of life on our planet. Earth is a stage for spectacular events, but not all of them are beautiful. Throughout its long history, the planet has witnessed moments of near total destruction. Mass extinctions aren't just science fiction scenarios, they really happened. And not just once, 5 times. Each of these events wiped out most of the life that existed at the time. Now, scientists warn of a 6th catastrophic event. But the burning question is, are we about to witness this collapse? Imagine waking up one day and realizing that the species around you are disappearing. Not gradually, but at an alarming rate. This has happened before, triggered by events ranging from asteroid impacts to massive volcanic eruptions. But what if this time, the greatest threat isn't a cosmic disaster or a natural catastrophe, but humanity itself? Progress has brought comfort, but it has also set off changes that may be accelerating a global collapse. Unchecked pollution, climate change, and habitat destruction are just some of the forces pushing our planet toward the edge. But before we can understand how this crisis might unfold, we need to look to the past. Earth's history is marked by catastrophic events that have repeatedly reshaped life. With each mass extinction, new forms of life emerged, but only at the cost of staggering losses. If we want to understand what could happen in the future, we must examine the remnants of the past. So, the question remains, what were these 5 great extinctions, and what can they teach us about what's coming next?
Hey, I need your help to be saved from falling into space forever. All you have to do is like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks.
Imagine an event so devastating that, in a geological blink of an eye, it wipes most life forms off the map. That's a mass extinction. Throughout the history of the universe and our own galaxy, Earth has undergone 5 of these brutal events, wiping out trillions of living beings. But what exactly defines a mass extinction? Scientists classify an event as a mass extinction when about 75% of species disappear within a short geological time frame. And when I say short, I mean something that can take up to 2.8 million years. That might sound like an eternity, but in the grand timeline of Earth's history, it's just a fraction of a second. The causes? They vary. Cosmic impacts, colossal volcanic eruptions, drastic climate shifts, or sometimes a chaotic combination of all these factors. But here's the big twist. Mass extinctions aren't just disasters. They are turning points. Each one has reshaped the course of evolution and cleared the way for new life forms. If the dinosaurs hadn't been wiped out, mammals, and eventually humans might never have taken over the planet. Now, to understand what's happening today, we need to look back in time and analyze these 5 great extinctions. Each one left a deep mark on the history of life. So, get ready for a journey through millions, or rather, billions of years. Earth's history isn't a tale of peaceful, linear evolution. On the contrary, it's a brutal cycle of creation and destruction. Over billions of years, 5 major events nearly reset life on the planet. The first extinction, known as the Ordovician-Silurian extinction, occurred about 440 million years ago. The cause? A sudden ice age. Sea levels plummeted. Oceans became inhospitable, and around 85% of species vanished. Then came the second extinction at the end of the Devonian period, about 365 million years ago. The exact cause remains debated, but scientists believe that the rapid spread of land plants altered ocean chemistry, choking marine life. This time, 75% of species disappeared. The third extinction, also called the Great Dying, was the most catastrophic of all. It struck at the end of the Permian period, around 252 million years ago. Massive volcanic eruptions in what is now Siberia released toxic gases into the atmosphere, triggering runaway greenhouse effects. The outcome? 96% of marine species and 70% of terrestrial species were wiped out. The fourth extinction, marking the transition between the Triassic and Jurassic periods, happened 201 million years ago. Once again, volcanic activity was the main culprit. Gigantic eruptions pumped CO2 into the atmosphere, rapidly heating the planet. The result? 80% of species vanished, yet somehow, dinosaurs thrived, setting the stage for their dominance. And finally, the fifth extinction, the most famous of them all, the one that wiped out the dinosaurs. 66 million years ago, a 13-kilometer-wide asteroid slammed into what is now Mexico, releasing an energy equivalent to billions of atomic bombs. Fires engulfed the planet. Tsunamis ravaged coastlines, and a thick dust cloud blocked out the sun, collapsing ecosystems. 75% of species disappeared, but small mammals survived, paving the way for humans to eventually emerge. These catastrophic events shaped the history of the planet and serve as a warning for what might come next. But this time, the threat could be something entirely different. This time, it's not an asteroid. It's not a raging volcano. The force behind the potential sixth mass extinction could be humanity itself. Over the past 10,000 years, but especially in recent decades, we have witnessed an unprecedented destruction of biodiversity. Since the 1970s, vertebrate populations have declined by 68%. Species that once dominated entire ecosystems are vanishing, and most people don't even notice. What's driving this accelerated collapse? Uncontrolled deforestation, wiping out natural habitats and putting thousands of species at risk. Ocean pollution, suffocating marine life with plastics and chemical spills. Global warming, disrupting climate patterns and threatening both plants and animals. And of course, wildlife trafficking, which not only pushes species toward extinction, but also increases the risk of new pandemics, something we've seen firsthand in recent years. The major difference between this possible sixth extinction and the previous ones? Speed. Past mass extinctions took millions of years to unfold. The one we are experiencing now is happening within decades. In geological terms, it's like hitting fast forward on a global collapse. So the real question is there still time to reverse this? And what solutions could prevent this catastrophic scenario? If humanity created the problem, then the solution might also be in our hands. The good news? There's still time, but it will require drastic changes. Scientists have already outlined ways to slow down this accelerated destruction. The first step is reducing greenhouse gas emissions. The Paris Agreement, for example, aims to keep global warming below 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. But that will only happen if countries seriously cut their dependence on fossil fuels and invest in renewable energy. Another crucial factor is fighting deforestation. Tropical forests like the Amazon are not just pretty trees. They are vital for maintaining Earth's climate balance. While governments have implemented stricter laws to curb deforestation, economic and political pressures continue to push in the opposite direction. Technology could also be a powerful ally. Satellites and artificial intelligence are already being used to monitor animal populations and predict deforestation risks. Scientists are also exploring bolder solutions, like cloning endangered species and genetic editing, to increase the resilience of certain animals and plants. However, there's one critical factor that is often overlooked: education. Without widespread awareness, none of these initiatives will be enough. What's the point of advanced technology, international agreements, and new laws if people keep living as if Earth's resources are unlimited? Humanity is at a turning point. We either change our behavior now, or we could become the first species in history to cause its own mass extinction. But the real question is, are we truly willing to make that change before it's too late? If there's one thing humanity has recently learned, it's that a single virus can bring the world to a standstill. But what most people don't realize is that pandemics and extinctions are far more connected than we think. During the 2020 lockdown, global carbon emissions dropped by 17%, and nitrogen oxide levels, pollutants that directly impact biodiversity, fell by 20%. For a brief moment, Earth had a chance to breathe. Cities became quieter, animals appeared in places they hadn't been seen in years, and rivers became clearer. But as soon as human activity resumed, destruction rates quickly returned to their previous levels. What does this teach us? That human impact on the environment is far greater than many are willing to admit. And if we want to avoid a collapse, the solution isn't just temporary changes. It's a fundamental shift in how we coexist with the planet. But there's another crucial link between pandemics and environmental crises. Deforestation and human encroachment into wildlife habitats create the perfect conditions for new viruses to emerge. Scientists have warned us, the more we destroy natural ecosystems, the higher the chances of facing even worse pandemics in the future. So, the real question is, how can we break this vicious cycle and create a truly sustainable future? On one hand, humanity has accelerated the planet's destruction. But on the other, technology might be the key to stopping this crisis. We are living in an era where science and innovation could help us prevent the worst. But are we actually using these tools the right way? Today, high-precision satellites monitor deforestation in real time. Artificial intelligence analyzes endangered animal populations, allowing scientists to detect patterns before it's too late. In Africa, for example, drones equipped with thermal cameras are already being used to track and protect species at risk from illegal hunting. Beyond that, cloning and genetic editing are advancing at an incredible pace. In 2021, scientists successfully cloned a black-footed ferret from frozen cells that had been stored for over 30 years. This breakthrough opens the door to bringing back extinct species and even strengthening endangered animals genetically to help them survive. But could tampering with the very code of life have unintended consequences? There is still a heated debate about the ethical limits of these technologies, but one thing is clear. Without innovation, the fight against the sixth extinction becomes nearly impossible. The real question is, can science move fast enough to prevent collapse before it's too late? If life is as common as scientists suspect, why haven't we found extraterrestrial civilizations yet? One of the most unsettling answers to this question is directly linked to what we've been discussing: mass extinctions. The Fermi paradox raises this intriguing doubt. If there are billions of potentially habitable planets in the galaxy, why don't we see any signs of intelligent life? One of the most chilling hypotheses suggests that advanced civilizations may have an expiration date. At some point, whether due to wars, natural disasters, or environmental collapse, they simply disappear before they can become an interstellar species. What if we are following the exact same path? Humanity has reached a technological level capable of drastically altering the environment, yet we still haven't figured out a way to escape our own planet. If we don't change course quickly, we might meet the same fate as countless other potential civilizations, vanishing before ever leaving our solar system. Which raises an even more unsettling question. Are we destined to repeat this cycle of destruction, or is there still time to write a different story? Humanity is facing one of the greatest challenges in its history. For the first time, the threat to life on Earth isn't an asteroid, a supervolcano, or an ice age. It's us. And the question remains, Will we follow the same path as so many species before us and simply disappear? The answer hasn't been written yet. The fate of the planet isn't sealed. But the truth is, time is running out. If we want to reverse this trajectory, every action matters. And I'm not just talking about international agreements or government decisions. Small individual changes can create a powerful domino effect. And what about you? Have you ever stopped to think about the impact of your daily choices? What you consume, how you dispose of waste, what habits you encourage? Are we ready to step out of complacency and be part of the solution? Or will we just sit back and watch everything fall apart? If you want to dive even deeper into the mysteries of the universe and the challenges that science is trying to solve, don't miss our previous video on neutron stars, the most extreme objects in the universe that aren't black holes. I promise it will blow your mind. And of course, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to keep exploring the greatest mysteries of the universe, science, and life. See you in the next video.